Hey everyone, I am back again and I'm down the coast in beautiful Warrnambool. It's a bit chilly and windy here at the moment, so not really the best for the beach. But I wanted to bring this message to you guys after a massive day of driving and just exploring, being back at my family's home in beautiful Warrnambool. I'm like right down on the beach. I'll swing it around and I'll share it with you guys at the end. But I wanted to deliver this message for you guys. I might have a little bit of trouble with the internet connection for everybody joining me live. So hopefully it'll be okay for you guys catching the recording, and for you guys joining me live, it might be a little bit choppy. But today's message is inspired because ultimately I have just found that most of us are doing this thing and we've got the best intentions, but what we're doing is we're focusing on the wrong stuff and it's leading us to generate results that we didn't actually want, right? Our biggest fears are manifesting into our reality as opposed to our biggest dreams and inspirations. So that is why today's message is all about the fact that the majority of people spend the majority of their time protecting themselves from the worst case scenario rather than growing themselves towards the best case scenario. So, this happens time and time again. I personally have had, coaches in my life reflect this to me and go, just so you know, you're really focused on what you don't want rather than what you do want, and it's tripping you up. So I know this firsthand, and sometimes when we're in it and we think that way, we don't actually catch ourselves and how we're limiting ourselves. So it's easier sometimes to spot this in other people, but I want you guys to really think this through and take some time to identify how much of your time is actually spent in the worst case scenario. Like you're identifying what you really don't want, your biggest fears, the worst possible thing that could happen, and that's what draws your attention, as opposed to actually what's the best case scenario? What is the possibility, right? What are all of the brilliant positive possibilities out there with an optimistic mindset about what could go right, as opposed to our self-protective mechanism of focusing on all the bad things of what could go wrong that end up, as we know, where your focus goes, energy flows, right? Wherever you're focused, that's drawing your attention to those things, and you're missing the possibilities, right? Most of us are, thinking in the realm of probability rather than possibility, right? And when we think probability, we generally go quite negative and we go into that worst case scenario, and we wonder why we're never really getting where we want to get to, and you might be doing this in any area of your life. So have a think about the areas of your life and whether you're generating the results that you want. So you might look at your intimate relationship right now, and you might go, you know what, like it's totally not where I want it to be, and it's been this way for a big period of time. So let me have a look at what I focus on in that relationship. Am I always honed in on what's wrong, on what they do wrong, on what they're to blame for, or what I'm blaming myself for, or whatever that is, you're focusing on the negative? Or, the worst case scenario, even, if I speak up and I address an issue that needs to be addressed, they might leave me, right? You're thinking worst case scenario. Or, that set of thinking is going to obviously generate you a certain result, right? But if you go best case scenario, if you realize, okay, this particular area of my life is definitely not where I want it to be, and I've got to think, all right, maybe I've been a bit worst case scenario. Let's shift gears. Let's go, well, all right, I've been running that pattern, that, pessimistic pattern, but what if I was to shift that? What if I was to go to optimism? What if I was to focus on the best possible case scenario of where this could lead, where it could get to? And when you do that, you start moving in the direction that your focus is on, okay? Every step forward that you take with your feet is generated first up here in your mind and where you're choosing to focus. So that's really what it is. It's like, what are you valuing? Are you valuing protecting, self-protection mode, or are you valuing the possibility of your potential, right? Of what's possible, of reaching for greatness, as opposed to limiting yourself and focusing on survival, all right? And that could be applied to any area of your life. Like I've just said, relationships, it could be your health. You're just giving up. Are you just focusing on the worst case rather than the best case? You might be somebody who has struggled with their weight for feels like your entire life. So you've just identified with that same old result. And therefore, you're just going worst case scenario. You're definitely not being optimistic about the possibility of a change and a shift and creating the level of health and energy that you could actually have access to, right? So that shift is huge when you shift from worst case to best case. The same thing happens with your finances. If you're struggling financially and you've identified with that and you're just worst case scenarioing, if that's even a word, then ultimately if you were to shift that, you see, whenever we shift to best case scenario, the possibilities thinking, we're inspired to take action in that direction. But the opposite is true, when we're focused on worst case scenario, we just stay put. We don't have the motivation or any inspiration to actually move in a different direction. And thanks for all the love and the likes coming at me, I think from you, Hon or Yoeri. I've forgotten, oh my gosh, you did tell me your name. Joel, I remembered. Joel's in the house. I love it. Hope you are doing well. So I definitely hope that today's message is resonating with you. So just sit with this for a minute and think about it. The majority of people spend the majority of their time protecting themselves, from the worst case possible scenario, rather than growing themselves towards the best case scenario. And wherever your focus goes is the life that you generate, the experience that you have. So you're never going to access and experience the best possibility for yourself in any area of your life when you're hyper-focused on protecting yourself from the worst possible case scenario. The worst case scenario is like an anchor holding you back always from your potential, from your greatness. And when you cut that tie and you look forward and you look up to what could be, and you dream bigger in your life, you will absolutely set yourself on fire to move in the direction of what you actually want in your life if you're really, truly honest with yourself. So I hope that resonates, and I definitely want to check in with you guys. So drop me a comment, say hi, let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. And I really do hope that this message wakes you up. It's a constant reminder for me because it's one of our human patterns is in self-protection. So we oftentimes need a bit of a reminder to go, hang on a minute, you're thinking a bit negative, you're just trying to protect yourself, you're thinking worst case, how about best case? Because it's always available to you. All right, I want to check in with you guys. So I have got Justin in the house. Good to see you. Much love. And Judy and Joel watching from Kampala, Uganda, East Africa. Awesome. Africa is somewhere that I definitely want to get to in this lifetime. I've never been over there. But always good to see you, Joel. And Alex is here as well. And Ram and Elf and Terry and Jerry. Awesome. Hi, Vanessa. Thanks for your always inspiring messages. They're appreciated. Thank you so much, my friend. You are always appreciated. And I'm so grateful to know that you find value in these messages messages and I get to see you each day, so that's awesome. And Joel, I have shared to other groups. Oh, thank you, my friend. Again, so appreciated. Like I always say, the greatest gift you can give to me is to share any messages that you find of value. Absolutely touching my heart. Thank you so much. Members who have just joined us, let's listen attentively and learn from this Wonder Woman. Oh, we love you so much, Vanessa. Oh, you're touching my heart. Thank you so much for such kind words. Always a pleasure to have you join live, and I'm super grateful that you're finding value in these messages. Thank you, my friend. And Bina, thank you very much. You're always welcome, beautiful. Great to see you as always. And Sanula, you're welcome as well. And thanks for the energy. You're always welcome. And that's a good compliment for me right now, because I'm absolutely exhausted because I've just been road tripping all day, and I've got a couple of days down here in the coast. I'll flip the camera around. I'll show you my beautiful view. Beautiful Fareen's in the house. Good to see you, beautiful. But I will sign off and then I'll give you a little show of where I'm at down here in beautiful Warrnambool at my beautiful family's home. Got a couple of special days here, and really before I start a long trip, I've got a 9-hour drive on Friday all the way to Canberra for an amazing event that I'm going to for a couple of days with a couple of my amazing coaches. So I will definitely be shooting you some empowering messages from there. And then all the way up the coast through beautiful New South Wales and Queensland, stopping along the way. So I'll take you on a bit of a road trip around Australia over the coming days. And Joel, you are an inspiration to us. We really love watching you sharing this great message, and you are welcome to Uganda. Oh, thank you so much, Joel. I so appreciate you. Always touching my heart. And Emma's here as well. Awesome, guys. So that is my message for you guys. I just want you to remember, and don't be part of the majority. Remember, the majority of people spend the majority of their time protecting themselves from the worst case scenario, rather than spending that time and energy on growing themselves towards the best case scenario. It's always available to you. Don't get caught in that trap. Don't be a part of the majority, and don't end up one of those statistics, which most people do. You know, the number one regret of the dying is, I wish I had have had the courage to live a life true to myself rather than one I felt was expected of me, right? Instead of protecting yourself, you know, and most of us protect ourselves from humanity. We think we want to just do what's expected of us because we can't take the criticism or, you know, being ostracized from our groups. And so we just stay another statistic and a number, you know. But you guys are more empowered than that, and you're more connected to your own growth. You know, you wouldn't be watching these sort of videos. So you have to, you know, be willing to be part of the minority to actually create the kind of life that most people aren't creating. And, you know, so that you don't end up having that number one regret of the dying, and you end up looking back on your life feeling totally fulfilled by the experiences that you've had, by the chances you've taken, and by the courage you've had to, you know, not be part of the majority and actually get out of pessimism, start being optimistic, and start backing yourself, because you've got immense greatness, you've got immense potential, and it's all in your reach to access in this lifetime. So don't settle another moment, start reaching. All right, so as always, guys, I'm sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you to wherever you are in the world today. I really do hope that it's beautiful, amazing, and extraordinary, that you're doing something super empowering, and today's message has definitely served you. I'm going to flip this camera around to give you a bit of a view of my beautiful, this used to be my office when I lived here. So I can't wait to show you. Beautiful ocean. Generally, so right now it's there's no whales here. They come during June through September, right out the front here. So I'm going to flip the camera around. I'm sending you guys much love, and take a check this out. If I can do this. Hang on. Oh my gosh. Here we go. So that is the beautiful ocean all the way out there. Thanks for joining me, guys. See you tomorrow.